I recently published an audiobook titled 30 Minutes with a Forex Trader. If you let this video continue, you'll be able to listen to that audiobook for free. If you want to purchase the audiobook, then just go to any audiobook retailer or go to my website love-the-pips.com. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Please like and please subscribe. My earliest memory of financial trading and having an interest in financial trading was when I was 8, 9, 10 years old. Somehow I had noticed the fluctuation in currency price. And I remember being in the car with my mother. She was driving. I was in the passenger seat. And I remember asking my mother, can you take advantage of these price fluctuations? Can you make money by buying and selling currencies? Now, as an 8, 9, 10-year-old boy, I didn't even know what the word fluctuation meant, but somehow I proposed that question to her in the limited terminology that I knew at the time. And she said, yes, people do buy and sell currencies and they do make money. And that blew my mind at the time. My journey to becoming a Forex trader and a full-time financial trader has been a very long journey and a difficult journey at times. At times I wanted to give up and pursue something else. At times I didn't think that it was going to be possible to make a full-time living and to be a financial trader. But I eventually made it. Just like anything that's worth pursuing or achieving in life, it's hard. It's not easy. It requires time, it requires money, and it requires a lot of effort. My journey to becoming a trader started years ago when I was small. I had an interest in financial markets, the stock markets. I remember asking my mother as an 8, 9, 10-year-old boy, can you make money from the price fluctuations of currencies? Can you take advantage of those price fluctuations? And I remember her telling me that you could and that people did that. And that blew my mind as an 8, 9, 10-year-old boy. And then sometime after that, I remember watching the news, probably BBC News, and seeing the London Stock Exchange, perhaps the New York Stock Exchange, and seeing the people shout, buy, buy, sell, sell. And I remember seeing that and thinking, that's what I want to do. That looks great. What a great job that is. It looks exciting. These people made a lot of money. Perhaps I didn't think that at the time, but as I got older, I recognized that there was a lot of money to be made in financial markets. And it became my dream to become a financial trader. Now, just like a lot of dreams we have when we're younger, we lose sight of those dreams. Sometimes we totally forget we even had those dreams. We settle for less. We settle for a university degree and some sort of safety in a job where there's potential to progress and make a career. And I did something very similar. I left school at 16. I didn't actually pursue any further education, which I thought was very stupid of me at the time. I actually went back to college in my early 20s. But I went and got a job in engineering, a precision engineering factory where we made parts for cars and all sorts of different tools and metal products. And it was a good job in the sense that I was getting paid a good wage for a 16-year-old, but I absolutely hated it. I used to come home stinking of oil. It was such a messy job. And the factory was so loud. The machines, there were probably 30, 35 machines in the factory. They were really loud. I used to wear these ear defenders and sometimes earplugs. And when I would go to bed at night and lay in my bed, I could still hear the machines in my head. That noise, that continuous droning noise in my ears, I could never get it to leave me, even when I wasn't at work. But that's what I settled for. I didn't consider myself a very intelligent person. I had no education. I did really bad at school. I was very lazy and really underachieved. But I didn't know what else to do in life. I had totally forgotten that I wanted to be a trader. And even if I could recall that dream that I had, I didn't think it was possible. How did you become a trader? How did you go to the city and get a job with an investment bank, with someone that had very little education and had poor people skills and generally just wasn't a very intelligent person? So I settled in life and I was a precision engineer for 2 or 3 years. I then went travelling around England. I went to Northern England. I was actually a Christian missionary and spent some time teaching people about Christianity and helped out in communities, tried to build communities and be of service where I could. So I did that for a couple of years. And then when I came home, I thought to myself, I need to really get an education. I really need to make a career for myself. So I went to college and I qualified in accountancy. And during my qualification or studying for my qualifications, I was able to secure a job in accountancy, and that led to a better job. And it didn't take long really before I was a qualified accountant, and I had some good experience in accountancy. But what I found in that time of study and going from job to job to increase my experience was that there wasn't much safety in accountancy, and I didn't really like it that much. It was just a professional career. If I could say I was an accountant, I felt like I was being successful in my career and that I had a financially good future. But I had a job in accountancy that only lasted 6 months. It was covering a maternity leave. But it was an okay job, and I was getting paid more there than I'd ever got paid in my life. I then went to another job, and that job was not good. I was probably the most unhappy that I've ever been in my life. I felt really low and down about myself, and I was away a lot. I would leave at 7, get in at 7. I was away 12 hours a day, and it wasn't really what I wanted. And I actually took some time off for paternity leave. My wife had just had a baby. I can't remember if it was our first or second son. It was likely our second son. And I took time off for paternity leave, only 2 weeks. And I remember emailing my boss the day before I was meant to return and said, where am I working tomorrow? Because the job required me to travel around a lot. And she emailed back and said, don't bother coming back. We've lost a client while you're away, and we're holding you responsible for the client that has cancelled the services that they require from us. We're holding you responsible for that. So we want to give you the sack, basically. Now, I had the choice really to hand in my notice or be sacked. So obviously I chose to hand in my notice. So I went from this job that I hated to having no job at all. We had this newborn baby, and life really wasn't going the way I wanted it to, especially my career. My wife, we were in love, we were having kids. That side of thing was great. But I remember thinking, perhaps I need to set up my own business. Perhaps I need to set up my own accounting practice. I want to work for myself. At this time in my life, I developed a lot of ambition, a lot more confidence in my abilities, and wanted to achieve a lot more in life. And I remember somehow looking on Google and typing in something like making money from home or money making opportunities. And what came up was an ad at the top of the page for a CFD broker. And I remember clicking on that link, going to the broker's site, realizing that I could download a trading platform, and thinking to myself, you can actually trade from home. And then suddenly this dream that I had from years before came back into my mind, and I realized that this is what I've wanted to do all along. I just never knew it was possible to be a trader from home. I thought you had to work for some sort of hedge fund or investment fund. Not that I knew what a hedge fund was or an investment fund was, but I thought you had to work in the city and be hired by one of these professional funds to be able to trade. I didn't realize you could do it from home. So that's how it all started. And I started trading with this platform that they offered, and I worked my way around buying and selling CFDs on a demo account, and it was a lot of fun. And I thought, this is what I really want to do. And I felt like I was able to start making money on a demo account, even though I had no evidence of that. I just felt like I was able to. So I actually went and got a loan out for £3,000. We had no money, so I couldn't use any money to trade with. So I got a loan out. I was very confident. The day after I got the loan, I started trading. I made like £200, or I think it was a bit more, £220 in a single day. And I couldn't believe it. It wasn't that long ago that was my weekly wage, and I just earned that in a day. And I was so excited. I went and told my wife, look, I've just made £220. We're going to be rich. I've made it. The next day, I made nothing. It was just like a break-even day. But that was fine. I made £220 the day before. The third day, I lost like over £2,000. And that devastated me. I remember going downstairs, I was like shaking. I was like, I've just lost all of this money. And I remember I had to have a shower to calm myself down. And I was thinking, what am I going to do? I've just lost all this money, or a good portion of the money that I have borrowed. Where do I go from here? What do I do from here? Now, what I did do, which was either a very brave decision through being determined, or it was a very stupid decision, depending on how you look at it. But I just carried on trading. I went back. I thought to myself, what can I learn from this? What did I do wrong? And that was really it. And I don't remember much from that point until perhaps like 6 months later, where I was now looking at price charts, which I wasn't really doing before, but I was looking at price charts. And I knew that I had to have some sort of systematic approach to trading. I really liked index CFDs, especially the FTSE, the CAC, the DAX, the European indices. And I thought to myself, I need to have some sort of systematic approach, something to tell me when to buy, when to sell. I don't mean like an indicator that says buy now or sell now, but I just had to have some sort of plan of action, some sort of set of rules to follow. And that's what I spent my time developing. I just kept looking at charts and developing something that was going to make me money. And I did. I traded European indices, the FTSE, the CAC, and the DAX. And I had a very simple system that I followed day in, day out. And it was okay. It made some money. And at that point, I was probably doing better than 50% of other traders at that point. 6 months, perhaps it was even 12 months. I really don't remember. But I was been trading for a little while, and I started to make money. And then everything from then has just evolved and got better. I originally started off trading like 5-minute charts and 15-minute charts. But as I have developed my trading, I'm very much more interested in longer term charts. I trade a lot of hourly charts, but I trade everything from hourly to weekly charts. And in the beginning, it was all about being right as much as I can, even if the risk-reward ratio was 1-to-1, and I was making 1% a month. That didn't really bother me. It was just about being right as much as I can. Now I find with my trading that it's not necessarily about the win-to-loss ratio or loss to win ratio. It's more about how much can I potentially make in a year. And now I average perhaps 30-40% of my trades being right, so a very low win rate, but my risk to reward is huge. I try to aim for about 1 to 10 risk to reward. I try and gain about 10% on my account for each winning trade. Now that obviously doesn't happen each time, but I remember one month that I had 4 winning trades in 1 month. So that's potentially 40% return. But I think after some losses and things, it was more like 32-33%. But that much in 1 month was amazing. And that's how my trading style has really changed over time. I focus a lot more on longer term timeframes, larger risk reward ratios. I don't pay too much attention to the win to loss rate, but obviously it needs to be healthy enough to make profits, even with the high reward to risk. And I have a much longer term view of trading. It doesn't really matter if I haven't made money this week or next week or last week or even this month. It's more in a year. How much have I made this year? And every year it's been a very healthy amount. So that's really my trading story. I could go into more detail about parts of that, but that's really my success story, is rags to riches. And everyone has these stories, rags to riches. But that's my story, in a sense, is going from a job that I hated to having a job that I always wanted. It was always a dream for me. There are a number of myths that I wish to dispel about Forex trading. The first is that you can get rich very quick. I think online there's this pull to get rich quick. A lot of people seem to want great results in life without putting in the effort. Why else would there be these amazing diets where you can lose a pound a week from eating cabbage and chips or whatever the diet is? People want these fantastic results from doing very little. I can soon find loads of workouts online, 7-minute abs. If I spend just 7 minutes a day, I can get a body like Arnold Schwarzenegger. And these things are all over the place. So many people want amazing results with very little effort. But Forex trading and trading in general is not like that. So many people come into the industry thinking that they can make a lot of money very quickly. But the reality is, to make a lot of money, you need a lot of money. You're not going to open an account with £500, $1,000 and then be earning a 6-figure income after a year or 2 years. Now, there are some very good success stories where people have started with very little and have almost been like an overnight success. But they're very far and few between, those stories. It's just like business, really. If you think of people that have started up business, not many people have overnight success with businesses. It takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of capital to be able to grow a business. But eventually, business owners are making a really good income, but generally it takes at least 3 years to get a business to where you want it to be. And it's the same with trading. Now, I don't intend to make these comments to discourage you, because you can become a trader. If you don't have any money now, you can still do it. I came from having no money. I had to borrow my first trading account through a bank loan and I lost it, but I still made it. I'm still a very successful trader now, and I'm managing more money than I thought was ever going to be possible. So you can do it. So my comments are not to discourage you, but to help you understand that It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. If you are interested in Forex because you want to be earning six figures or be a millionaire in 6 months' time, that's just not going to happen. It takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of commitment, it takes a lot of capital, and it's just like starting a business. There is a lot to learn, but you can make it happen. You can get there. And then talking about capital and those things, this isn't really a myth, but it's something that I've come across a lot, is that I believe to be successful in trading, and now this is not an essential requirement, but it would help a lot of people, that to be successful in trading, it's important to learn from someone who's already successful. Surely if you want to be a lawyer, you need to go and get a law degree from someone who knows law. If you want to be successful in business, then it would be very wise to spend time with people who are already successful in business. And the same needs to be done with trading. Learn from people who are already successful. Now, the reason why I bring this up is a lot of people are not willing to provide the capital or pay for the services to learn from those who are already successful. And they end up failing, but they are willing to lose that money and potentially more than that money on bad trades and testing out their trading potential and skill. I've met so many people who are unwilling to pay to learn from successful traders, but have lost 4 figures trading the financial markets. If they just learned from someone in the beginning, they would have saved themselves a lot of cash and a lot of time. Now, another myth that I wish to dispel is that those who are successful in financial trading and Forex trading are able to predict the markets a lot better than those that are not successful in trading. And though this may be true in a sense, and in some cases, it's not really why these people are successful. Those that are successful in trading don't necessarily have a crystal ball or are just better at analyzing charts and are more refined in their analysis. Now, there is an element of truth in that, but generally, those that are successful in trading are those that just have a trading plan and stick to the trading plan. I can give a successful trader a trading plan and an unsuccessful trader the same trading plan. The successful trader will make money, the unsuccessful trader won't, because the successful trader has developed a confidence and an ability to stick to a trading plan. And generally that is one of the main keys to success, is sticking. And I'll talk more about that later on. Some of the most successful traders have actually had a very poor win to loss ratio. Another myth that I wish to dispel about Forex trading and financial trading is that day trading is more profitable. Now, from my experience, this is true to an extent. My trades on the hourly charts are more profitable than the trades that I have taken on 4-hour charts, daily charts, and weekly charts. Generally, on the higher time frames, there isn't as much opportunity as on the lower time frames. If there's more trades, there's more potential to make money. And if I looked at my results per year, I've made a lot more money on hourly charts than any of the other higher time frames. So I do believe this to be true. But what I want to mention about day trading is, even though that it can be more profitable, it's also a lot more risky. And there is a greater psychological battle with day trading about risking high amounts of cash on small time frames rather than placing trades in higher time frames that are monitored perhaps 10 minutes a day for a number of days or a number of weeks. For a lot of traders, if they became successful on longer term time frames first and then focused on day trading, they would actually find that they would be a lot more successful doing that rather than just trying to become a day trader. I think the most common question that's asked by retail traders that are not yet profitable is, how do you become a profitable trader? How do you start making money trading Forex? From my experience of training numerous students and my experience of talking to traders online and by email, and from my own personal experience of becoming profitable, I think there is a few things that people need to focus on and do in order to become profitable. But it all comes down to desire and people wanting it enough, or in this case, people not wanting it enough. The reason why a lot of traders are unsuccessful is they just don't want it enough. Now you may be thinking to yourself, but I do want it enough. I really want to be successful. I want to be a trader. But do you really want it enough? How much do you want it? Let me ask you these questions. Do you have a trading plan? Do you have a set of rules that you follow? If the answer is no, then why don't you? Is it too much hard work? If it's too much hard work to put together a trading plan, then surely that's just a reflection that you don't want it enough. It's quite obvious for a lot of traders, if you're learning online and looking into trading, that those that are successful have strategies that they follow. They have a set of rules that they follow. That's very obvious. So you need to mimic them and you need to have a strategy. Now, if you don't have one and you know you should, then why don't you? It's purely down to a lack of desire. If you really want to be successful, then develop a trading plan. And the same could be said with money management. It's obvious that you should only risk 0.5% or 1% per trade. If you're actively day trading, it might even be less than that, 0.25% per trade. Now, too many traders I've run into are risking 10% per trade. Why are they doing that? I think it's out of desperation to make money, but it's going to lead to failure. You're going to blow your account at some point. If it's not today, it'll be tomorrow. If it's not tomorrow, it'll be sometime next week or next month. It's inevitable that it's going to happen at some point. If you use your common sense, you know that's going to happen. So why are you doing that? Because you don't want it enough. If you want to be a successful trader enough, you will ensure that you are only risking an amount that will allow you to keep trading for the rest of your career. If you want to be a successful trader, don't potentially blow your account and put an end to your trading by risking too much. It doesn't make any sense. But let's spend a bit more time on these things. So a trading plan, you should have a set of rules that you follow every day. And these set of rules should have proven to be profitable in the past. Now, a lot of people will develop a trading plan, but they won't back test it. If I say to them, well, was the plan profitable last year? They'll say, oh, well, I don't know. The reason they don't know is they haven't back tested it. You need to back test it. Now, traders know this, or a good amount of traders know this, but they still don't back test it. Why don't they back test it? Because they don't want it. They don't want it enough to put in the effort to back test the strategy or the set of rules that they've created for themselves. They're just hopeful that if they follow it, they're going to make money, or they've looked at the last 2 weeks of data and it's made money, so they're hopeful that it will make money for the next 2 weeks and the next 2 years and the rest of their career. It's all going back to that instant results with little effort, the 7-minute abs. Drink 100 mils of aloe vera a day and you'll wake up in a month's time looking like Celine Dion or something, I don't know. But hopefully you understand what I'm trying to tell you. It just is not going to work. It's not going to happen. You have to put in the effort. So if you have a trading plan, you need to back test it. If you don't have a trading plan, you need to develop one and then back test it. And it will take hours. You may even have to purchase software to be able to back test your strategy. But if you want it enough, then it's not going to be a problem, is it, to buy that software and back test it to ensure that you're going to be profitable in the future. And going to money management, and I would like to spend more time on this, but time is running out. Talking about money management, risk 0.5% or 1%. Now, if you don't have a big enough account to do that, to meet minimum margin requirements, then go and save some money and come back in 6 months' time. The markets are not going to vanish in the next 6 months. So many people are so impatient that they just jump straight in and inevitably just lose everything. If you really want this to happen, then be patient and do it properly. Now, some of you will have a trading plan. It's been back tested. Some of you do have good money management skills in place, and that's great if you have that. And I praise you and say well done to you. If you haven't done those things, then don't feel bad about it and just do it. This is your opportunity to learn and to start doing these things. And I'm sure you've come a long way since the start of your trading journey. So well done for making progress to this point. Now, those that have created a trading plan and have good money management principles, generally the obstacle then is the trading psychology. Is not sticking to the rules because of fear or greed or boredom or any other emotion that takes you away from sticking to the rules and being a successful trader. Now, I can relate to this. It doesn't matter how successful you are as a trader. Trading psychology is a battle that we all have to deal with. Even after all these years of trading and sticking to my rules and making money as a trader, I am still tempted at times to close trades early or to not enter trades out of fear. Those things still come to me now and then, even after all these years. But I don't listen to those emotions. I don't let those emotions govern me. I'm governed by my rules that I've created for myself. Now, a big part of that is recognizing that success in trading is following your rules, not following your emotions. That if I stick to my rules every day and follow them exactly, even if I haven't made money that month, then I've been a successful trader that month. The success is sticking to the rules, not necessarily how I've made some great trades by letting my emotions dictate my trades rather than the rules that I've created for myself. Now, another way to beat trading psychology is to backtest trading plans, because you might have a strategy and when you've backtested it, you think, wow, this strategy would have made me $3,000 a month for the last 10 years or something like that. But what you need to realize is you'll only gain those results by sticking to the strategy. So when you're tempted to close a trade early or to not enter a trade, look at your results and think to yourself, do I want these results? Do I want to make $3,000 each month? The answer is yes, you do want the results that your strategy has offered in the past, so stick to the strategy, no matter what. If you want the results that your strategy can get, then you need to stick to the strategy and follow it exactly. Now, my time is running out. I hope this has been useful. You can contact me by email, samuel@love-the-pips.com. You can visit my website, love-the-pips.com. If you just search me on Google, if you type Samuel Morton Trader or Sam Morton Forex or something like that, I'm sure my website and other things about me will appear in Google. So please do those things. I offer a number of products and services. You can follow my trades. You can have me as a mentor. I offer a trading course on my website and other things too. Just go and check it out. But I appreciate you listening to me. I hope that it has been of use. I would suggest that you listen at least twice to this, because there'll be things that you'll pick up on the second time around that you didn't the first time. But thank you for taking your time to listen to me. I do appreciate it, and I wish you all the best in your trading.